Imagine your business not just surviving, but thriving. Your wealth locked in, your opportunities exploding, and your family's future built on a legacy that never fades. I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional. I help entrepreneurs and high-growth enterprises protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth through my proven system, the Wall of Wealth. I unite your experts into one cohesive strategy because the most expensive line on your balance sheet isn't debt or taxes, it's conflicting advice. Ready to align every dollar with your mission and turn today's success into tomorrow's divine promise. Wealth today, dynasty tomorrow.
Happy Wealthy Wednesday, champions. Come on in, come on in. Today is going to be epic. You are definitely going to want your fuzzy bunny slippers. Grab something nice to drink. I'm telling you, today is going to be crazy, good, crazy, amazing. And you know what? I always say, champions don't panic, we pivot. Sometimes things happen. Has that ever happened to you where you think you're doing one thing and then suddenly something happens and now you're doing something else? Well, that happens, right? Things happen. And this morning, Mr. Joel had a conflict. But that's okay. Don't worry. He's totally fine. He's totally good. We are going to reschedule him. He's already rescheduled, so he'll be coming up. I'm super excited about that conversation because Joel has had my heart from the first time I met him. We had an incredible coffee chat. And then I found out that he loves Slash. Okay. I got to tell you, I'm not a Guns N' Roses fan. I'm like a big time Guns N' Roses fan. I knew them before they were anybody. They used to come up to the Bay Area. They were a garage band. Yes, that's back in the day when I was a hairdresser and all those things. So we're going to talk about that. But you know what? Today I have a substitute, and I say substitute, but you know what? This is like where the substitute is going to bring his shine. He's going to bring his glitter and glam. And I'm going to tell you today is going to be an incredible conversation. We're going to talk about different thinking. We have got to think differently. What has got us here won't get us there. This is 2026. I say we got to get in the mix. So many people are trying to win, but they're still in the shadows. So many people are trying to up level, but they don't want to speak their mind. They're afraid they're going to offend somebody. They don't really want to be in their glory. They want to stay humble. And yes, by the way, we do want to be humble and all of those things. But closed mouths don't get fed. We got to show up. People got to hear you. Somebody is looking for you and what you do. And so today I have the one and only, oh my gosh, I get chills every time we do an event together because this man him and his beautiful significant other have totally transformed my business. They've transformed my life. They run the Hello LLC. And everything you see here is really their creation. My biz in a box. Freedom, not only giving me a different front facing for my business, but giving me a different aura, really. Giving me the opportunity to have more freedom of time, alleviating my stress about posting. They make me look good. Listen, I can't take credit for all of this because it really comes from their mastermind. We call him Mr. David Jones, but I call him Mr. Mic Drop. Please give it up for the one and only Mr. David Jones from the Hello LLC. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesday, Mr. Mic Drop. How you doing there?
I am doing amazing. The Dynasty Builder, Leah. It is absolutely amazing to be on this amazing show with you and just be in your presence. You know, you are the LinkedIn queen. Everybody knows who Leah Garcia is, and everybody looks forward to showing up to your events and seeing who your next guest is. Sorry, Joel, I'm going to take over today, but we're going to have an amazing conversation. And, you know, it's just great to be on this show with you and really talk about, you know, a different set of thinking, a different mindset, especially nowadays as we move forward, and especially with what you do with the financial side and the strategy thinking that we talk about all the time. A lot of people sometimes don't want to talk about their finance. People are sometimes ashamed of it, and you shouldn't be. And I remember sharing with people when we first started our business and, you know, learning this is, you know, financial literacy is caught. It's not taught. And a lot of the times we are, you know, told the wrong information. we're given the wrong information. We listen to our elders, and you get older and you're like, you don't know what you're talking about. And you talk to people like yourself, and it's like, I should go back and really tell my mom and daddy they didn't know anything, because you give the real deal. And it's really fair, right, for people to get over that old mindset and really understand that protecting and really building your dynasty, and tomorrow's not promised. And if you die today, who's going to get what's going to happen, probate, taxes, all of these things that people are going to be cussing you out. And you need to take care of that now, especially as a man, right? Especially as a family. And just as a youngster, I remember being told back in the day, hey, David, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I was like, nah. And I look back on it now, I'm like, ooh, I sure wish I would have did it. But, you live and you learn, and you have to be able to move forward and not regret, right? You can reflect, but not regret. And a lot of the times in life, we regret and we beat ourselves up. And it's not about, it's about moving forward and learning lessons and pivoting. And that's what we're doing today.
That's right. But today's not about, thank you so much. I received those flowers. Listen, I have worked hard for what I do. I show up, and that's what you got to do. It's Woody Allen, I think, that said that 98% of winning is just showing up, but you got to show up full out. If I showed up off camera, like this all the time, or, you got to show up and play full out. Today is really about you and what you do and the amazing pivot we're going to talk about. So for anyone who doesn't know you, share with us a little bit about you and Miss Tara. I call her Miss Christmas. I mean, every time I see her, I feel like she has presents for me. Okay. Oh, Leah, we did this. Oh, Leah, I did that for you. I made this change for you. So I just adore both of you. So tell us a little bit about you two and what you do.
So the Hello LLC stands for Helping Entrepreneurs Leverage Leading Edge Optimizations. It's not about just saying hello, although every day you say our name. It's really about, helping you build an actual business and utilizing these systems and foundations, and utilizing, actual, some of your current systems that you have now. We're a digital infrastructure company, so we're not just going to come in there and change everything. It's really about finding out where the leak is. It's about really being able to automate some of the things that you already have. A lot of people hear AI and they freak out. And we've been utilizing AI in your phone and Alexa and Siri and Grammar Check. You've been utilizing it. You just don't know how to utilize it in your business. And it's about giving control. And as business owners, we just talked about this, we are control freaks, and we get that, but it's also time. And right now, more than anything, it's not time, it's direction. And most people are not heading in the right direction by implementing a lot of this AI tools. And that's what we do. We implement AI for your business, for your brand, and really, for blue collar and white collar entrepreneurs with 3 to 25 employees at the end of the day. And yes, we help out our entrepreneurs such as yourself, forward thinking entrepreneurs that really want to leverage this technology, because now you don't have to have 10, 20, 30 employees. You can have just great systems, and people will never know how many people you have behind the scenes, because automation is replying for you. And intuitive AI, let's make sure of that, especially using this new agentic AI that really people should be understanding. It's more than just ChatGPT.
Absolutely. And one thing I always go back to is, for me in the beginning, the biggest thing that was so transformational. I love the Biz in the Box. I love the AI videos and all these things. But really, one of the core foundations, and I see it over and over and over again, is people not having their Calendly set up correctly. They think that if they turn it on and they put a link in there, that's it. No, there's so much more. And many times I get compliments. People say, oh, thank you. I love the reminders. Oh, I love the tools that you sent me. I'm like, this is wonderful. I didn't know I sent you tools. No, I'm just kidding. But, having all of those inner workings. So it's not just saving you time, But what you said, it's giving you direction and it's giving you a professional presence. If you're a one woman, one man band, you don't have to look like that. You can still have a professional presence. So let me ask you this. If AI tools are everywhere, what is really how can we have a cutting edge if we're all using AI? Now we're all just doing AI. What would you say to that?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is that everybody has access to these tools, right? Everybody, such as a plumber. A plumber has access to to all these drills. Construction has access to the stapler gun. Everybody has access to that, and you give them that, but everybody's not going to build the same house. So it depends on what you utilize for and with the AI, and really being able to implement it fully. And some people are just stacking AI on top of AI, buying the latest, greatest, app, when they should be implementing an AI tool that serves all of their business, that talks together. And most people are not. And that's the difference between what we do, is really have a structure where all of your business talks to each other than you having to open up 12, 15, 10 apps, different apps that you don't know. And you always have to say, let me go check this app for that client.
Mic drop, gold bar, put a star by that. And what I'm hearing is you're clarifying conflicting advice, which is what I talk about all the time. We have different tools working in different silos. They're not communicating together. And you know what? That's not our job. If you're a plumber, go be a plumber. Focus on being a plumber. Don't learn about AI. You don't have the time for it. You don't have the bandwidth for it. Let the AI pros do what they do. We have a few people who've joined us. I want to welcome them in. And I love this comment by Merrill. He says, fun fact, Slash and of the Guns N' Roses came to a pre-pandemic at their 48-hour track recording studio. That is really, really cool. So you guys don't know this, okay? I used to be a hairdresser back a long time ago. And yes, I had purple hair. I have a lot of hair, if you can't tell. I was always the haircut mannequin. They did all these great things, and I had purple hair and blonde hair and all those things before. This was many years ago, okay? I'm talking about
make sure we post those, Miss Leah. I'm gonna have those posted, y'all.
I do have some of those. And so part of that was we would go and do garage bands. They call them garage bands at the time, but we'd go to these different places and we would do hair shows and yes, I did all this. I did the hair and makeup. And so they would come to the Bay Area in those grunge band type of studios. And so one of my girlfriends actually was a model for them. So yeah, I'm talking about big Slash. I'm definitely big Slash fan. But anyway, I digress. I also want to welcome Miss Yuma. Thank you for showing up. This woman I'm seeing her everywhere. I love the way you're showing up, Uma. And I adore that she's putting comments that are so valuable into the comments. That really helps other people so that when they come by, they peruse. If they don't have time to watch the entire episode, they can still grab some golden nuggets. So thank you, Uma, for what you do. I appreciate that so much. And of course, the one and only Miss Lisa Febeck. She is our dietitian. She is our menopause mentor. She gives so much free content. If you have not downloaded her free ebooks, please do. If you're a woman going through menopause, or you love someone going through menopause, or you just want to upgrade your diet game, your health game, get in touch with her and she will definitely help you. Miss Christy, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. She's our LinkedIn cheerleader. I want a Miss Christy to follow me around everywhere because I just feel like she makes me feel so good. Every time I see her, I'm like, thank you so much for showing up. And we have the one and only Miss Queen Leslie Flowers. I adore this woman. She is one of the most generous people that I know. She does the Mind Over Matters Mondays, where she shares and highlights different speakers and trainers and teachers. She is also our 12 Laws of Achievement teacher. And she also specializes in Think and Grow Rich, which I think is a staple for any entrepreneur, anyone who wants to up level their mind shift and get to the next level. So let me ask you this, Mr. Mike Drop. You said you're ready to drop some golden nuggets on us. I want to know, what new AI technology should business owners be paying attention to right now that most of us either don't know about or are not using to its fullest potential? Everybody knows ChatGPT. So what else is beyond that?
I think one of the most important things people should definitely be paying attention to is agentic AI. This is going to allow, AI to actually do things for you.
Hmm.
Prime within our Hello Nexus, we actually have it connected with Google, to where Google goes and scrapes a lot of actual Google leads, and it brings us these Google leads that we've been able to filtrate to our liking. So every single day, I'm getting about 1,000 leads that agentic AI is able to go out and scrape and implement. And so this is just one of many things that entrepreneurs are not implementing, that they already have, that they could turn on within their business, of course, with switching this, that, and that, and there. But like we said, this is where AI is here to help people. And people a lot of the times are scared and freaked out and don't know what they're talking about. And they tell other people, well, AI is going to do this, AI is going to do that. And they've watched, The Matrix, they've watched Terminator, they've, sat in their house way too long, and now they've been scared and never ran a business and sat behind a computer and did something repetitively when they could have AI do it. Prime example, you would be a great example of your social media. When you had to go from LinkedIn to Facebook to YouTube to TikTok, that took hours for one post. Now you don't have to do that. That's the help of AI. And so in order to talk about it, you actually have to be able to do it. And a lot of the times people talk about it and talk bad about it, and they haven't actually utilized it or seen the benefits of it. And this is the greatest thing that I share with people. It's kind of like walking out your house and walking to work, other than you having a Ferrari in your driveway and you don't get in the Ferrari. And that's really where we're at with AI for your business. So it's not if you like AI, it's not what you think, it's not how you grew up, it's not that your business is special or your customers won't understand this. Yes, it's going to be people and businesses that implement AI and get a faster response. And that's what people have to understand. It gives you a faster response, other than the old fashioned ways of having to do things, the old traditional way. And so that's where we're at with that, right?
So much to unpack there. I want you to slow this down for me and explain this to me like I'm 5 years old, because if you guys don't know, I am a Google review queen. You think I'm a LinkedIn queen? I love Google reviews. I write very detailed Google reviews. I love to show pictures on Google reviews. I'm almost on level 7. So you said that AI can scrape Google to find you leads. How does that work?
Within our Hello Nexus.
Oh.
That's within our Hello Nexus, our system that we've been able to set up. And this is where all of your business talks together, your operations, your actual, finance, your CRM, your actual, business development, your opportunities, your actual email campaigns, all of these things talk to one another. Other than when we were doing originally, you had Apollo, you had this, you had that, and they were all talking. Now we have one system that talks to each other. And then we also, as I was sharing AI, you now can have a generative AI. On TikTok, about every Tuesday, every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I go live on TikTok and I do live cold calls. And I actually get on the phone and I pick up the phone, because most business owners talk about it. I don't talk about it, I be about it. And so I get on the call. And the other day, I got on the call and I got duped by an AI. I thought it was an actual real person, and it turned out to be an AI. And guess what? Within 5 minutes, I got a phone call immediately. Unlike any other business that does not have AI, they're working. You're right now on a call. You're at, some business meeting. That phone call is going to an actual phone, a message, an email, and nothing's happened. And you're not going to check your email immediately after you get off of this. You're not going to check your text message immediately when you get off of this. That AI agent answered immediately and was able to get me the information that I need, including, our AI agents that we have with Izzy. So there's so much more about AI that people don't know about, and they think they know about it, and they don't. Kind of like with the Think and Grow Rich, right? They didn't have know about technology then. That book is somewhat relative, but it is not to where we are now, right? Of having the technology that we have now, where we're a global economy, right? They would have never imagined what we're able to do now compared to then. So the game has changed completely. So some of those aspects are a little bit different than what they are now. And that's why you shared it at the very beginning. What got us here won't get us there. And that old mentality and that way of thinking, right, is not going to carry us forward.
Absolutely on point. I was just studying a conversation with Ed Milet and John Morgan of Morgan and Morgan. Incredible interview. If you guys have not watched it, I mean, it is so brilliant. And he talks about the road less traveled. And what he did in the beginning was he was reinvesting in his business. 40% he would go back and reinvest in his business. And I think so many entrepreneurs, listen to me, entrepreneurs, so many business owners, we start seeing the cash register go in the black, and we want to start spending, buying cars, buying houses, showcasing, buying jewelry and all those things. And I love all of those things, but we got to reinvest in ourselves and reinvest in our business, especially in these days. If you're not marketing, if you're not investing any money into any of this technology, you're going to be left behind. And I truly believe this. The more and more that I study, I'm seeing that it's going to go like this. This year, by the end of this year, by the end of next year, anyone who is not on social media, I just had an entrepreneur call me yesterday, like she's struggling in her business, but she does know marketing. She's not on LinkedIn. She's not on social media. You got to be out there. You got to be the champion for yourself. So let me ask you, what are some things you said your businesses you target are from like maybe 0 or 3 to 25 employees? What are some of those tasks that they're doing? Now, I know what they are because I see them. I think I know. And I was doing it myself, but what are some of those repetitive tasks that they could be leveraging with some AI tools?
Prime example would be like we just talked about, right? Being able to get some of their calls. A lot of these traditional home service businesses and traditional businesses that have a lot of their information flowing through their website, they have that going straight to an email. That can be automatically answered. That can be automated. Who gets that email? Simple in your Google now. Does everybody get that? Does one person get that? There's simple switches that you could be implementing right now that most businesses don't, turn on. And this is what we're talking about. We talk about AI, we can talk about all this technology, but most people don't have the basics together, right? And that is where this comes into play. And so we can talk about, being able to have their actual text messages and their voicemails and the actual phone calls be turned on, right? Being able to implement some of their operation systems and moving from paper and moving to a digital, atmosphere. Being able to take some of the actual order forms that they have in where it's going from one platform to another platform and their apps. Some of these current businesses right now have applications that don't have some of this intuitive AI turned on. So it's really about utilizing what you have now and piecing it together and then being able to find out where the leak is. Because look, I get it. We are also dealing with real people, and we're dealing with people that don't read. We're dealing with people that don't want to accept change, and we're dealing with people that just think they know it all and they don't. And so this is where you have to fit in AI that works best for your business and for your company. And it might not be customer front. It might just be back end. It might just be, within one segmentation of your business. But this is where you have to start. And as you get, more acclimated with it, you will then see the advantage of it. Then you'll be like, oh, I'm putting it here. Oh, I'm putting it there. And that's the biggest thing, is that most entrepreneurs don't know where to implement AI, because they truly haven't sat down and looked at their issues that they're having now, and where that could be automated, or just a simple switch turned on.
True that. Turn that switch. One of the biggest things that happened for me in the beginning, and I never take this for granted, is that it gave me, having this automation gave me an opportunity to invest more time focusing on thinking about, strategizing, meditating on, researching about my business and my industry. I didn't have to worry about, gosh, I got to make a post. I wanted to spend time with family or take time off. Oh gosh, but I got to hurry up and make a post. Now I don't even think about it. It's terrible to say, but I think it's wonderful to say. Sometimes I get compliments on my social media and I have to go back and look at what it is. But we didn't start there, right? You have to understand it's a learning curve. I had to learn what you could do, and you had to kind of learn me. And so we did have kind of some bumpy times, but now it's on automatic. You run things by me, but and I don't even know how you do this, but you really do embrace like my character, like who I am. And even to my guests, the posts that you share about my guests, you pick up their energy. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, how did he know? And that's the part that I think is so lost in the sauce for entrepreneurs. You're investing so much time in trying to figure these things out that you can't focus on your business. Here's a question by our queen. What about Claude? So kind of help us break this down for you really quick. We hear about Claude and, what are all these things? Like the ones that, like the chat, help us with that.
That's a generative, AI that, a lot of people are utilizing compared to Chat GPT, or you have the Google, right? And so you really are able to utilize those for different, aspects. Like with Chat GPT covers everything. Right, it can make images, it can, write scripts, it can do, emails, it can do everything. Claude is more so of a specific, more detailed, more oriented, depending on where you set it at within its actual settings, because there's actually some great settings and some lower settings. It does not create images whatsoever. And so it is a lot more in depth. And I utilize that one for a lot more business oriented thinking, right? And creativity, per se, and coding and things of that sort. So that's one aspect. And, go to thehellllc.o and go download our amazing, free guide that we have that has well over 35 AI guides, or should I say, apps that you can go and download. We always are out to help people, as long as they want to be able to help themselves. You got to be able to press the button at the end of the day. That's what it's about.
And we have to embrace that it's a learning curve. It really is. And in the beginning, I just didn't get it. Even though I was working with you two, I just didn't get it. I said, you know what, here's what I have, and just help me to figure it out. And so we have figured it out along the way. We've been working together now for a few years. And I just always defer to you two, because I know you have my best interest at heart. You're the research on the AI. You know what's cutting edge. I want to focus on the making money, kissing babies, shaking hands, meeting people, helping them build their dynasty, right? I can't do both. Or maybe I could, but I wouldn't do it well. That's the thing. We wouldn't do it well. Here's a great question by our very own queen. She asks, how lazy is AI making our children, making our children? And I would say this for me, my precious grandson, 7 years old, he goes to a private school. They don't use the technology. They have technology time, but he's taking cursive this year. He's in second grade. They're going to be learning cursive. They're going to be learning how to do fractions by hand. And, there's a place for that. I feel like it's enhancing what we are and giving us, like you were saying, Mr. Mike Drop, the repetitive tasks we don't have to do. And then we can focus on the things to really expand. How would you answer this question?
I would completely disagree with that statement in entirety in itself, due to the fact that, AI isn't making our kids lazy. Spending hours playing Nintendo, monetizing, cheat codes, keeping, those things alive is, been, messing with our kids. And, it's bad habits that make lazy people. It's not tools. It's like saying the calculator, destroyed our kids. And that's really the type of question we're asking. And it's not, how is that kid utilizing that calculator? Because a kid can type in, hello, and it be backwards and be ha ha he, and other than the kid that, puts together a new algorithm and utilizes the same tool as we were talking about earlier. So that's just a level of thinking that you're bringing to the table of, is that positive or is that negative? And these kids right now need all the positivity they can get. And even asking that question is insinuating that, when we should be encouraging these kids to utilize this AI and asking them how they use it. Because you give them an iPad, they know it like that. They know technology. And it amazes me that us as this age, it's like handing over a rotary phone to a youngster and you laughing at them because they don't know how to use a rotary phone that we used to know how to use. That wasn't their time. They didn't know how to use it. That would be like them handing you something that you don't know how to use. And this is where we have to come together and really be able to understand that this AI is no different than Google. Let me be real with you. I'm going to tell on myself. AI is no different than we going to Google and looking up an article and having 20 different articles, reading a piece of it, copying it, putting it in our paper, and turning it in. Ain't no difference. It actually makes it easier where you get to go and ask Claude. You get to go and ask ChatGPT. You get to go and ask all these different tools, and you get to get the right information. You don't have to guess anymore or take this particular types of persons or that particular type of person. It's all vetted out now. Now, especially for some of these holidays, that what we used to think it was, it's completely different. You didn't have that type of access back in the day. You had to go through 20 different articles of these actual companies that had these, articles and showed those articles. And so it's a completely different way of thinking when you talk about AI. AI, like I said, we've been utilizing it. And forget about the kids. Let's talk about us. When you open up your social media, you think that algorithm doesn't know you? When you go to your phone, you don't think it doesn't know you? And when we talk about, our kids, those kids aren't learning from AI. They're learning from you. They're listening to you, how you respond, how you type in, and how you talking to people behind the scenes and behind closed doors, other than what you're showing in the real scene. That's what your kids are seeing. They're not seeing the AI. ChatGPT ain't telling your kids to do this or do that, or be not like this person or not like that person because their skin color or because of that. Don't get me started, right? So when we ask that question, um, it's just continuing the old way of thinking, right? Other than asking, what can AI do for us, as all these new technologies have done? Internet, right? The car, from the horses, fax to email. All of these technologies have created an advancement for us, and it hasn't made us dumber.
And to your point, back in the day when I started in the insurance business, I used to have to pack up my things and drive. Now, I have no sense of direction. We did not have the tool that we use now, the directional things, whatever you use on your phone or your computer or your even in your car. I had to print out Yahoo Maps. Okay, and guess what happens if you take a wrong turn with Yahoo Maps? Nothing. You're just lost. Okay, you are just lost. You got to figure it out. So, now we have this technology. Didn't it make me lazier? It made me not get lost and wasting a bunch of time. But I always told my kids we're taking a scenic route. So that's another story. Here we have Miss Christmas herself, Miss Tara Bush. She said, great conversation. Technology can be used as a tool or a toy. As leaders, executives, and business owners, technology will set you apart. I totally agree. And there's so much to be said for what it's setting you apart from. It's going to help showcase who you are. And it's not really, I heard this recently and you kind of alluded to it. It isn't the best person that wins these days. It is a person that they can find who will show up, who will answer their questions, who's available, who is accessible, who's showing up everywhere. When they see your name everywhere, through osmosis. Listen, Coca-Cola, we all know Coca-Cola. We've all seen it. McDonald's, we all know the golden arches, but guess what we see every day, if you're anywhere, is any type of a commercial. So I would love, also, here's another great point by Jay. He said, you may not know it, but we have been using AI, for our whole life. So tell us some things that maybe we didn't know was AI. You just kind of touched on one, which is Google. Touch a few of those.
The calculator, the Google, your spam check, right? Your Ring camera. I mean, your Netflix alone, they got you there on AI. I mean, the StreamYard we use, everything that you're using has AI in it. When you're texting and it continues to text for you and you hit enter, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's perfect, right? Oh yeah, I don't know how to spell. And let me tell you something. If it wasn't for grammar check, it would be bad business. And Tara can attest to that, right? Tara was my AI, okay? Before AI, Tara was my AI. And that's why I'm I'm upfront. Look, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm gonna respect you. You're gonna respect me, and I'm just gonna tell you how it is. Right? I've done things that most people would never even imagine. Me being able to sell everything that I own and be able to say, put me and Tara together and go and run our business and move to Colombia, move to Mexico, move to Thailand and it just be us and we live and eat off of everything in our business. And so when I share with people, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, this must happen, this is what you got to do, I'm not just talking out just to be talking. I'm saying this because you're talking to somebody. It's live or die by it. And I do it and I stress it enough for people to understand that, look, I want more for you, right? I know people will be like, dang, Davis Ruff. No, I truly am the biggest bear you will ever meet. I can assure you of that. And I want everyone to win because let me help you out. No one's free until we are all free.
Mic drop, as always. And let me give you some flowers here. We've been working together for a few years now. I'm not sure. I think it's a couple of years, maybe going on 3 years. And listen, my guest wasn't able to be here today. I asked you, what could I do? And you're like, I can show up for you. You guys do so much for me, not just with the AI. So using AI to say that it's making us lazy or taking it away, like you guys add so much beyond the AI. Here's a great point or question by Jay. He asks, how can we detect good AI from bad AI, or is there good or bad AI? What would you say to this question?
Well, that's like saying, is there a good or bad gun? Who has the gun? Who's using the gun? There's good and bad guns. There's good type of guns, there's bad type of guns, right? What brand is a good brand? What brand is a bad brand, right? What brand does this? What brand does that? But once again, it's in the eye of the beholder. It's who has and who's in control in the thought process. And once again, we are creating AI, right? It's our intent that we do with it. And that's why I share with people so much that when we talk about AI, I think the movies, the society, what we see on social media, the bad AI, the graphics and things of that sort, of how far we were just 2 years ago to where we are now, you can't even tell. Like I had one of your videos today, I was like, ugh, I'm gonna have to redo this. This is horrible. I'm not putting this out now. It's like outdated. No, right? And so this is how far in advance we've been able to go with AI. And this is just the beginning. This is the greatest time that we're living in that people have to understand. Financial segmentation is changing, which you guys should definitely go to her amazing Biz in a Box, download all the amazing benefits that you can get. Go book that coffee chat with Leah. She is amazing to have a conversation with and really be able to figure out what needs to go where and start somewhere. Just like with me and Miss Leah, we didn't jump into this. She had a crusty, dusty PDF file that she was telling people download. She had no access to who was downloading it, who was getting it. Just like you talking about this Calendly, people are utilizing their Calendly as like their main info, website that people just book an appointment with them. Some people just taking it down completely and rely on LinkedIn to be their front end, and nobody knows what you do or how you do. And we sell ourselves that, oh, I don't want to do this, oh, I don't want to do that. Like you said earlier, Leah, we're about to make a split. You either utilize this technology or not, and we have to be, omnipresence everywhere. If LinkedIn went down today, what would happen?
I would be okay. I got Mr. Mike Drop and Miss Tara. They've got my back. They're always bringing me new technology. And really what I think about, what this conversation makes me think about, and by the way, thank you for the incredible question. I love the questions. I love the feedback. This is how we get the juice. This is the juicy part, right? Anybody can show up, but somebody who knows what they're doing because they can answer all the questions. So if somebody wants to start, but they're not ready to invest in hiring somebody, what is the biggest thing that they could do? Where could they start with AI? I mean, we all are using the chat, and I feel like
I'm reading that correct. It says, other than hello, where would you suggest someone to begin?
yes.
I'm a little lost with that one.
Other than Hello LLC, where could they begin? How could they start? What kinds of resources are there?
Well, I mean, you definitely, go to ChatGPT. You can definitely go and use Claude. You can definitely go, to your lyrics, thehellllc.io, and get all of the guides that I've already, or get all of the AIs that I've already put together and curated for you. So I've made it easier for you more than ever. So my final and only answer is go to thehellllc.io, and I've done it for you, right? At the end of the day. Or you can go Google it and find it out the old school way. Your choice. You get to pick. Everybody gets to pick vanilla or chocolate.
And what's great is, I don't know that people know this, but they have the done for you, but they have tools you can use on your own. There's many guides that you have. You have courses they could take. You have tips and tricks that people can use. So go on there, download some of the free tools and start there. And start using, what I would share is, start using the paid version of one of these AI tools. Okay, let's upgrade from the free. Let's get to the paid. You can go ahead and eke out 20, 30 bucks a month and start communicating with your tool. Ask them what else I could do, because here's the thing. If we say that we are entrepreneurs and we know we have knowledge and wisdom to share, but yet no one is hearing us, it's like if the tree falls in the middle of the forest, doesn't make a sound. Like, you've got to go out and share your knowledge. You got to share your wisdom. Even if you're not looking to monetize, we're talking about leaving a legacy. We're talking about building a dynasty. And that it doesn't come from just our bottom line with our checkbook. It comes from the words and knowledge that we have. Otherwise, it dies with us. And I think that is tragic.
Yeah.
I think that's tragic.
Yeah. At the end of And that's the great thing that I share with people that look at social media in a different aspect, right? Look, we are on this great thing called this Titanic, and it is going down, and
Woo.
nobody is out of this alive. And so to be able to understand that, you were leaving a legacy. And on this ride of your Titanic, you should be taking videos of the ocean. You should be taking videos of the dolphins, and you should be doing videos of yourself and all of that. Because guess what? When this Titanic goes down, that cell phone, that computer can be put in a Ziploc bag, airtight, waterproof, and it lives forever. So your social media is about you sharing your story. Leah, you sharing your story with your grandson. When he's 30, 40 years old, he's going to go back and be able to watch these dynasty builders. He's going to go back and watch these Wealthy Wednesdays and say, that's my Nana. That's my Gamma. I remember that moment. I was doing this. I was doing that. And so many people are not pressing that button because they're scared of what somebody's going to say. They're scared of their friend or whoever, or their high school crush, or this person or that person that don't care about you, that will call you every name up underneath the book and not do nothing for you. And you're worried about them when you got people that are living in your house or in your bed that wish you would have pressed that button, and they wish you would have left on your legacy, not just getting with Leah for your finances, but your intellectual property that she continues to share with you guys. And that's why it's so important. And that's why I stress so much your voice, your energy, your vibration, your story is your glory, and everybody wants to hear it. And if they don't, so what? Who cares? It's your life. Live it, share it, right? And what, nobody gonna call you and say, you said this. Nobody's gonna call me after this live and say, David, you sucked. You said this, that, and the other. I wish they would.
Well, I've had people call me during a live and give me advice, but that's another episode.
Yeah, yeah,
um, it
sure.
made me think. It made me think about my grandfather who died when I was 5 years old. I was not close to any of my other grandparents. My grandfather on my mother's side, Joseph Carrasco, he adored me. He came home every day. We would eat moon pies on the porch, and he would talk to me and tell me stories. And I wish I had more. I have a few photos, but I wish that I had a video of him talking about me, what we used to say. I always think, what were we talking about? And maybe one day I'll remember. But I want to also, let's highlight your what do we have this, the pivot that we have? What is the Hello Plaza that we have? Let's talk about, cue it up for us, and I'll bring it up.
Yes, so the Hello Plaza is a new way for us to go from 2D to 3D. As you see me and Leah right now with our amazing faces, we are live and in color. And sometimes people don't show up with their camera on, especially a Zoom. So this allows you to take your actual Zoom call to a whole new experience, being able to showcase your entire business. So prime example for us, we have put all of our clients in our Hello Plaza that we can put on their biz in a box where people can say, hey, not only can you go and check my biz in a box out, but go to the Hello Plaza and go check out my actual storefront. So if you guys can see it, which I'm pretty sure you can, here goes Leah Garcia's amazing storefront, where you can go in here and you can actually check out her pictures and everything in here, right? She has her QR code, she has her Magic Maverick, all of that. And it goes even better than that. Check this out, is that you can press on the picture and it will take you straight to her biz in a box. So this allows you to go from 2D to 3D. And not only that, look, if you don't like this in this mode, then we can move this straight over. Let me get out of here. Nope. Right? We can move this to 2D, to where now this is just nothing more than your Zoom. And now I can open my camera, I can not be on camera, or I can say, you know what, I don't like that, and I want to go back to 3D. So this leaves it open for people to be able to do their entire business into, utilizing the actual Hello Plaza. And now Leah can have this space for her to introduce to her clients her actual business. Anybody that wants to be able to utilize this, her podcast, when we start doing her Dynasty Builder in our Hello Plaza, we have an entire space where we're going to do it in there as we've been doing it. So this takes it to a whole new level of showcasing your business, right? And really being able to, show it, in ways that most people won't. And look, some people might look at this and be like, oh my God, I don't know about that. But look, the wealth transfer is changing. People want this. I want to remind you, you are the same person that said about 5, 10 years ago that you would never be on social media. Now you are bare minimum on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram for no less than an hour a day. So never say never. And we've been utilizing this old 2D technology for 24 years, such as Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And so now we will be having our AI edges rooms in here as well that take this to a whole new level. So we're excited about this, to really showcase this and have people join us every Tuesday at 9 a.m. standard time, and really for some of our clients' events and things of that sort. And so this is the Hello Plaza that we just opened up yesterday. So come and visit with us.
It is so cool. And I love that I have a little section in there for sure. And it really is time for us to get going. Oh, we're going to get going. People are going to forget about us. Listen, if you're not top of mind, if you're not showing up everywhere, if you're not speaking your mind, you're not growing your mind, you're not bringing value, and the value you have is going to wither away. And somebody else who's not as talented, who's not as educated, who's not as sexy, who doesn't have your wisdom, is going to show up, and they're going to gravitate towards them. It really isn't the most talented person that wins. I know a lot of talented people, and I've said this, and sometimes it upsets people, but you know what? Hard work beats talent, because talent seldom works hard. And I would add to that, it's a hard working that's not working in our business. What do you say? Don't work in your business, work on your business. And leveraging these tools, leveraging these AI tools, leveraging these social medias and these social media platforms. As we're kind of in closing, what would you say if somebody was an entrepreneur, business owner starting out, and they had $1,000? Okay, they had $1,000, because we got to invest in our business, folks. If you want to have a business and you're not investing in it, then you are being a little delusional. So let's say we have $1,000, whether you have to put it on a credit card, whether you got to do layaway, like you got $1,000, what should I invest in?
With us, or just in general?
I would say with you and in general. Let's do both.
With us, I would say probably start out with our Biz in a Box Basic, that really allows us to set the foundation, and then join maybe our Pivot membership at $29 a month. That gets you a 30-minute conversation alone. It gets you some actual content and things of that sort built on your Biz in a Box, and you get to be able to be a part of our community, such as Leah, and be able to surround yourself and get your story together and understand what sacrifice is, and also be able to really understand that at the end of the day, it's scared money don't make money. Okay. And you got to be able to implement these things and understand that technology is changing and shifting the way that we go. But if it was just $1,000 free nilly willy, mindset. Nothing matters without your mindset. No tool, no AI, no Claude, no chat channel. None of that matters if you don't have this up here right. If you are about yourself, if you are not willing to have empathy, if you're not willing to have human just decency, if you're not willing to get out of your own way and understand that your traumas or your dramas you're born with, that's not your fault. But what is your fault is for you to heal from them And most of the time, we're not healing from our traumas, and we're allowing our traumas to outplay in all areas of our life. Anybody that tells you that your business is separate from your personal life, they're a lie, and you need to run from them immediately. How you do one thing is how you do everything. How you communicate in your relationship is how you communicate with your customers. How you give action in your relationship and your is how you give action in your business. How you show up in your relationship is how you show up in your business. However you want to look at it, slice it, dice it, cross it, examine it. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you're lazy, you're going to be lazy in your business. If you care about hours, you care about your personal thing, you care about all of that, you can forget about it. There ain't no hours, there ain't no vacation, there ain't none of that. If you're not willing to put in 5 years without owning, making a dime, forget about it. Okay. So I'm gonna just give you that $1,000 advice for free. That this is not for the weak. This is not for oh, it looks cool. Oh, that might be a thing I want to do. Stay your behind at that job if you don't want to get up and go do things on your own or not be told what to do, right? If you don't want to be told what to do, you got to do the stuff so you don't be told what to do. And that's where a lot of people get it confused at. Is that at a job, guess what? You got to show up for it. You got to show up for it, work for there. Me, I got to make the work. I'm done.
No, that is so fire. For only $1,000, you can create a basic biz in a box. So don't look at mine, okay? Mine has gotten much more advanced. But
No.
I started with a basic biz in a box, and then you can start from there, especially those, I think, who are storytellers. I see people who have great stories, and they are not, their website doesn't do them justice. These 2D, 1D websites are played out, you guys. Having somebody sign up for an email that goes to your email, what is that doing? You're not creating any value. You're not bringing your best foot forward. And also, when you were talking about, leveraging all of this, upgrading ourselves, it really is the time. We have to do it. Either we get going or we're going to get going, and your legacy, your intellectual property is going to get going with it, and people aren't going to remember who you were. And I think it's not just them remembering who you were, but all your wisdom and knowledge leaves with you. And that is, to me, is tragic. We have so many treasures within us that we don't transfer because we didn't have this technology. My grandfather didn't have this technology when he passed away 55 years ago, but now we do. And I believe it's our responsibility to our future generations to create these. And you're right, we have to be congruent. There's no more, I'm at work, I'm over here, let me change it over there. No, you got to show up as you, whoever you are, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, however you are, you got to show up that way, and then that's when you really are authentic. We give a lot of lip service to that word authentic, but then we only want to show up when we're all polished and perfect. So I love this. This has been a great conversation. Anything you'd like to share in closing, Mr. Mic Drop?
No, I would just like to share with people that, now more than ever is a great time for us to really be able to understand that things are changing, times are changing, and that you have to be able to change. And that is one thing I love about you, Miss Leah, is that you are willing to change and adapt and learn and really be able to just say yes and, continue to do the things and show up. Right? You show up, and most people don't show up in their own life or in their own business. And that's the one thing I love about you. You show up. And so I would just encourage you all to be like Leah, show up, be authentic, and just, be a hairdresser. I'm going to get you guys these purple images somewhere or another. If I got to fly from Bangkok, Thailand to California myself and go through her drawer of some sort. But we're going to find these pictures.
They're in storage. In fact, I posted a picture. Christina Salgado did this incredible post, and it was about your former self. And so I did post a picture, and I showed it to my precious grandson. He's like, "That's not you, Gam." yes, I did have the crazy hair. I loved it. It was so much fun. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and I really do appreciate both of you. You really have helped me so much, and I've learned a lot. And really, I know that what I'm doing is going to bring value, and we continue to evolve, right? We don't just stay. I started with the basic biz in a box. I'm not sure what you call the biz in a box that I have now, but we didn't start there, right? It was over time and, pivoting and growing. And that's how we have to start. Maybe you start with upgrading your Calendly. Please, I implore all of you, if you do nothing else, pay the Hello LLC to connect your Calendly correctly. What you have is not it. It's not professional. It doesn't do you justice. It is not technology. You're not bringing value. It's not really doing a whole lot. And in fact, whenever I get an invitation, you guys know, and any of you can vouch for this, I always give my link. I'm like, let's use my link, okay? Because it doesn't go through the process. And I don't really even know what you guys do. That's not my job. But all I know is there's a huge difference when I send my Calendly link and when I use other people's links. I don't get the reminders. So that's what I wanted to share. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
I wouldn't do this without Justice, my other half, of my life, most importantly, that has taken upon this journey to, travel and be here. Tara, she's the other half of this business. You guys see me, show up, visually, but without her, a lot of these changes don't get done. A lot of these things that we do in the back end of the systems and, the Calendly and, that helps me, get all these clients and all these things done, it wouldn't be done without Tara. So I want to give her kudos, even though she doesn't show up, in person, but you can see her lovely face there of how much work and how much she does. So baby, I love you. I miss you. And so, this is where we have to understand collaboration is everything. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't without this. And understand having a business, being abroad and in a relationship together, it don't sign up for that class, my friends. That's what I would say. It takes a cookie to we're doing it and we're going to continue to do it. And it's exciting at the end of the day. We get to utilize these new tools and help clients like yourself, Ms. Leah. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to just say yes, right? Because you didn't know neither at the beginning when we first started. You were like, no, I don't want to deal with no metaverse. What's AI? I'm not. No, David, bye.
Sell AI. Okay, let's be real. Put it that way. And so yes, and
where would you be without us right now? Could you think back 3 years ago and say, hey, where would I be right now?
Yeah, I would still be doing a lot of hard things and my life would just not be where it is today, for sure. It would still be very stressed and constantly having to worry about how all these things work. And I see it. I see it in my co-hosts, my colleagues. I'm seeing the difference. The people who are using them, which is very, very few in my industry, maybe 1%. It really is. One thing I would say too, oh gosh, I lost my thought here for a second. Yeah, it really is. Oh, what I would say is Miss Tara really is, I have to apologize to her all the time because I mess things up. And she says, just send it to me. I've got things all cattywampus. I'm like, Miss Christmas, I'm so sorry. I know you already told me this. I know I already did this. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where it is. I don't know what I did. And somehow she puts the magic on it and she just so gracious and always cleans it all up for me and makes me look amazing. I don't know how she does it, but we appreciate you so much. She truly is Miss Christmas. When I say every time I see her, she has some kind of a gift. Oh, Miss Leah, we've got this. Or, oh, I saw this happen. Here, do it this way. Oh, we're connecting this for you. I saw that it wasn't connected. I don't have time for all this other stuff. And guess what? If you're an entrepreneur and business owner, either do you.
You're great at what you do. Allow us to do the rest. You're great at, being a financial strategist. Let us do the marketing. Let us do the systems. Let us do, get you seen at the end of the day. And most people don't understand the concept of that. And they think they can do it their own, and they don't do it, period.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And I would say in closing, listen, I'm a dynasty builder and I don't want to use AI because it's shiny. I like to use it because it makes dollars and it makes sense. So that's what I want to say. This is 2026. It is our year to come out of the shadows and get in the mix. You got to show up. Someone is looking for you and what you do, but guess what? Closed mouths don't get fed. It is going to be not the person who's the wisest, not the person who's the most talented. It's going to be the person who shows up in spaces and places, and they have a system to take their clients through the process and really give them access to them 24/7. Listen, that Hello LLC Plaza is going to be up whether I'm sleeping, whether I'm on vacation, whether I'm with my precious grandson at the beach. It's going to show up and you can learn about me and then reach out to me because I love those dollars and cents. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Mike Drop. I appreciate you pivoting because we know that champions don't panic. We always find a way to pivot. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wealthy Wednesday. Thank you, everyone. Toodles.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Introducing Leah Garcia's Wall of Wealth, the ultimate one-page financial plan to protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth with confidence. Whether you're a business owner or just starting your financial journey, this step-by-step guide gives you the tools to create a solid foundation for long-term success. Don't wait to transform your money mind shift. Download your free copy today at leahgarcia.io and start building your wall of wealth now.